Donald Trump abruptly rage quit his own press briefing yesterday after a historically embarrassing implosion, even by Trump's own standards. I've essentially stopped covering the press briefings and the roundtables and the propaganda events on the podcast and the broadcast show because they're just trash. I mean, they're simply disinformation. There's no news. They are worthless at communicating policy in any significant way. They've also been going on a lot less frequently ever since Trump wondered aloud about injecting bleach to treat coronavirus. But yesterday, Trump scheduled one, and it is really worth telling you what happened. I'm going to skip right to the questions part. The presentation I can sum up as we're the best on testing and the envy of the world. With that out of the way, let's get to the questions. We're going to start with the buildup about Obamagate. We'll go to the climax, where Trump tells an Asian reporter to ask China, and then the denouement, where Trump abruptly walks off, furious that a CNN reporter tried to ask a question. So we'll start with Philip Rucker. Philip is White House bureau chief at the Washington Post, also wrote a book that very much triggered Donald Trump called The Very Stable Genius. Rucker is really good at framing questions in a way that directly expose Trump's non-answers. Trump's been tweeting about so-called Obamagate. Trump tweeted it in all caps with no explanation over the weekend, also claiming that the Obama administration and Obama himself committed the biggest political crime in American history. Here is Philip Rucker expertly asking Trump, which crime did Barack Obama commit? What law did he break? Trump glitches, freezes, and simply repeats, Obamagate is the crime. Take a look.
Mr. President, in one of your Mother's Day tweets, you appear to accuse President Obama of the biggest political crime in American history by far. Those were your words. What crime exactly are you accusing President Obama of committing, and do you believe the Justice Department should prosecute him?
Obamagate. It's been going on for a long time. It's been going on from before I even got elected. And it's a disgrace that it happened. And if you look at what's gone on, and if you look at now all of this information that's being released, and from what I understand, that's only the beginning. Some terrible things happened, and it should never be allowed to happen in our country again.
Obamagate is the crime, my friends. Now, Philip Rucker tries to follow up, of course. Now, I looked at the U.S. Code of Law. I couldn't find Obamagate as a crime because it doesn't exist. Trump has no idea what he's talking about. Here's the follow-up from Philip Rucker.
And you'll be seeing what's going on over the coming weeks. But I wish you'd write honestly about it. But unfortunately, you choose not to do so. Yeah, John, please.
Crime. What is the crime exactly that you're accusing him of?
You know what the crime is. The crime is very obvious to everybody. All you have to do is read the newspapers, except yours. John, please.
Yeah, Mr. President.
This is a child, ladies and gentlemen. This is a child. So next, let's go to CBS News reporter Weijia Jiang, friend of the show. Also extremely proficient at getting Trump to blow his stack. She asks, why are you always bragging about testing? Like, why, whether it's true or not, why is this a competition when people are dying? People continue to die, and Trump doesn't like it. He flips out and says, why don't you go ask that question to China?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Said many times that the U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives and we're still seeing more cases every day?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Don't ask me. Ask China that question, okay? When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer. Yes, behind you, please.
So this already makes no sense before we even get to the Asian component of it. The question was, why is this a competition on testing while people die? And he says, go ask China. Ask them what? I don't hear the Chinese president saying we have the most and best tests or we've defeated the invisible scourge. But then it gets really wild when Weijia Jiang, who is Asian, says, why are you asking me to go talk to China? Why me?
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty
question. Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay, anybody else?
So is this something about Weijia Jiang being Asian American? I don't know. With Trump, you never know. But it's all just wacky. It's cartoonish. It's a comedy of errors. And this really has Trump riled for the last bit of it. The last pillar of the three-headed monster for Trump, or the equivalent of Trump's kryptonite when being asked questions, is made up of Philip Rucker, Weijia Jiang, and lastly, CNN's Kaitlan Collins. She gets up to ask a question. Trump called on her right before Weijia Jiang's follow-up. I guess she didn't react quickly enough by allowing Weijia to follow up. And Trump rage quits and walks out of the room, or back into the White House, better said.
Okay. Anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have two questions.
No, it's okay.
But
We'll
you
go
pointed
here.
to me. I have two questions, Mr.
Next.
President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the
wanted
young
to,
lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague
Okay.
finish. But can I ask you a
Ladies and
question?
gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate
But you
it.
called
Thank you
on-
very much.
I can't tell if at the end there you hear someone say, what the, or if that's something else. But what a moment. What an implosion. And this is why he's been cutting the briefings, because they're an increasingly embarrassing disaster. Imagine any other president, Republican or Democrat, rage quitting after acting this childishly. So the Weijia Jiang part, the Kaitlan Collins part, these are more about Trump's wacky behavior. He's clearly very afraid of Kaitlan Collins asking questions. Okay. The really crucial part here is Trump claiming Obama perpetrated a crime. Presidents accusing former presidents of crimes is a big deal. Being asked what crime was committed is logical, and being unable to say this is what the crime was is particularly problematic. Now, you may surmise that there's no evidence that Obama committed a crime that Donald Trump is trying to accuse him of. Trump is clearly desperate to take attention off of the virus and instead go after Obama for something, anything. And we've got to watch this very closely because we've seen Trump's Justice Department say they're not going to prosecute a guy who pleaded guilty, Michael Flynn. They are now emboldened and they're liable to really be out there with this Obama crime stuff. So we'll keep following it, including on our Instagram account. Make sure you are following the David Pakman Show on Instagram at David Pakman Show. And while you're there, with peace and love, follow me on Instagram as well. I am David.Pakman on Instagram. I've got something really cool today. The first 500 people who see this video and go to davidpakman.com/skill will get a premium membership to Skillshare for 2 months for free. Skillshare is the online learning community offering thousands of classes on almost anything you can imagine. Everything's taught by experts. The classes get split up into bite-sized lessons. So even if you're really busy like me, you can fit Skillshare into your schedule. There are classes on drawing, painting, photography, video editing, web design, running a small business. And that's not even scratching the surface. I got some great ideas from a recent class I took called YouTube Success. And even though we've been on YouTube for years, I still got a lot out of it. They have classes for every skill level, whether you want to get better at something you're already experienced in or you want to explore something totally new. And like I said, the first 500 people who see this video and go to davidpakman.com/skill will get a completely free premium membership for 2 months, giving you access to every class Skillshare offers. Check it out. I put the link right underneath this video.